What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich from the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show. Welcome to this episode of Big Rich Movie News. Hope that everything is going smooth and your weekend was great. Mine was just lovely, if I do say so myself. This is show 6 that's on time, so we rolling. And I must admit, I'm rushing to get it done and stuff. I had some stuff that I had to do, and I was actually lazy Sunday. I usually film these on Sunday so I can render and everything like that. So I'm doing this Monday. So today is based technically still on time because the day is not over. So today's movie we're going to talk about Going in Style. Going in Style was a movie that we went to see Saturday. Oh no, I'm sorry, it was Friday. And it is starring Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and Alan Alkin. It also had some other Joe King, Matt Dillon, Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown, for all my Back to the Future people, and Ann-Margret, who, for old lady, she was looking pretty dang on good. You feel me? So the show, it had an rating on IMDb. The IMDb score is 6.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is 45%. Its official release date was April 7th. So, we went to see it 2 weeks after that. It had other things to do. It grossed so far in its second week. It grossed $50.9 million. That's just U.S. box office. And its estimated budget was $25 million. So it is already broken even. This flick was an old person flick, but I just had a blast watching this flick. The length of the film, the length of the film is 1 hour and 36 minutes. It was rated PG, and they say the crime drama, but it was a crime funny, a crime comedy to me. But basically, the synopsis was Joe, Willie, and Al are senior citizens and lifelong friends. During an unpleasant appointment at the bank, Joe, who was played by Michael Caine, is one of the victims to witness a robbery in progress carried out by 3 individuals wearing black masks. During this robbery, he knows the leader bearing a Mongol warrior tattoo on his neck. And as the only lead, he could help the police identify the culprit. However, the leader sympathized with Joe when he found out his current financial situation brought up by the bank. Then the robber managed to escape with over $6 million worth of U.S. currency. When the company that they worked for was bought out, their pensions became a casualty of the restructuring. Joe is hit particularly hard to find out that he, his daughter Rachel, and granddaughter Brooklyn will be homeless in less than 30 days. Willie finds out he's gravely ill from kidney failure and needs a transplant. Willie is Morgan Freeman's character, and needs a kidney transplant, and even more frustrated because his financial situation forces him into a long-distance relationship with his daughter and granddaughter. Despite desperate, the 3 friends decide to rob a bank, and they're going to restructure the pension funds and take back what's rightfully theirs. So basically, you're talking about these men are in their mid to late 60s. They've worked between 30 and 40 years for this particular company. The company went bankrupt, it went belly up, it was sold off, and part of its restructuring thing, they took away the whole pension. Now, to come back to real life for a second there, because I'm a person who has a pension from the police department, and it's solvent, and it's something totally different, separate from, the actual city, if you will. So it would take, a crash of biblical proportion to affect us. But stuff like that really makes you wonder, is my 401k safe? Is my pension safe? That type of stuff. And again, this is a comedy and is a crime, drama, if you will, according to their specifications. But you sit back. I remember thinking about that. I was like, I depend a lot on my pension. I mean, I worked 23 years to get it, and the fact that somebody can come and snatch it away, it sort of perked up my ears. But inspired by his experience of the robbery of the other day, Joe is Michael Caine's character. He comes up with the idea. At first, Albert, which is Alan Alkin's character, and Willie were appalled, but eventually agreed. They later learned that the bank intends to steal their pensions, trying to shoplift some items in the grocery store where Al love interest, Annie, which is Ann-Margret's character, works results in a comedic disaster, and the trio turns to Joe's former son-in-law, Murphy, who is the weed man, and a criminal working as a pet store owner named Jesus to teach them the ropes. Their plan of alibi using their largest convoy as cover, they disguise themselves as members of the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and use guns with blanks so that no one get hurt. The robbery almost goes awry when Willie collapses briefly and a child witness partially pulls off his mask, and she sees the wristwatch of a picture of his granddaughter. However, the three manage to get away with over $2 million. They are soon arrested on suspicion by the FBI agent Hamer, which is Matt Dillon's character, after the manager of the grocery store recognized snitch, just a telling ass, recognized Al's walk, and but they all stuck to their alibis. I'll say this. I'm not even going to go through the rest of it. The scene, I should have said this is going to be spoilers. But the scene where they was trying to shoplift from the grocery store was one of the funniest, and I do mean funniest scenes I've ever seen. These three, they probably known each other for years. They probably are friends, but you can actually see it portraying coming from the screen, and they had just comedic chops, and everything worked to me. Everything worked. Now, my wife was like, it was funny, but it's not something that she can see again. Me, I'm gonna watch it 2, maybe 3 more times. I enjoyed it. Excuse me. I enjoyed it that much. So that was definitely a really, real good thing. You learned a lot, and I'm not going to give this away, even though I said it was going to be spoilers, but I'm not going to give this away. But you learned a lot from the pet owner and the bank robbers from the beginning of the film. So you learned something like that. He was like, wow, you sort of understood that. But I don't think there was any valleys. There was small peaks, but there was no deep valleys. So to me, it kept my entire attention. I had to go for a potty break, and actually, I really didn't want to see what happened when. Remember, I said the young victim or the young witness from the robbery that the males did, young Asian girl, she was brought in to do like a photo lineup, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, she gonna pick them out. Cause I remember I looked over my wife and I was like, man, I wish these guys don't get caught and go to jail or worse, killed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because last couple of movies that I seen Morgan Freeman in a collage of actors, he usually the one that dies. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, please don't I didn't want none of them to die. But the way they put it together, it went as good as possible. Put it like that. And you laughed during the robbery of the bank. They old ass. You laughed at that. You laughed at their banter back and forth. Not all three. Alan Alkin's character, Al, that's his name. He was, the old crotchety old man, get off my lawn kid, that type of shit, And then Willie was a recluse, because he was a recluse character who kept a lot of stuff inside. which when he found out that he was suffering from kidney failure and needed a transplant, he never told his two best friends. Not only did he not tell his two best friends, Alan Arkin's character lived with him. They were roommates for like 20 something odd years. I think Morgan Freeman said 27 years, 28 years they've been roommates, and you don't know this. So I sort of was pissed off about that, but I understand that dynamic of, older males, especially black males, really don't keeping that in and not really want to worry people. But what and I will give this as a spoiler, what happened with the kidney transplant, it was Al whose kidney was 100% match for Willie. So all of this time you've been dealing with this issue, and you almost dying, and your not next door neighbor, your roommate has a kidney that he could have gave you. So, it is what it is and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed it. All of the characters, there was character development from all of them. You pretty much knew what was going on. You pretty much knew that Michael Caine was pretty much the leader of the group, of the Rat Pack, if you will. Michael Caine was like the Frank Sinatra type thing. You know what I'm saying? He was that character. He was the glue that held everybody together, even though Morgan Freeman and Alan Arkin's characters lived together. And the dynamic was they all lived together, but they lived right across the street from each other. So when Michael Caine would come over, he would come over to Willie's and Al's house, and they would chop it up and have their bonding moments. And then it was time for him to go. He would leave their house, walk down his stoop, walk across the street, walk up his stoop, and go right in. So I thought that was sort of cool also. The way it ended up, put it like this, without giving up the ending, the way this ended reminded me so much of the Ocean's 11, the Ocean 12, the Ocean 13, those type of movies where you was like, okay, this is what happened, this what happened. Christopher Lloyd, aka Doc Brown from, like I said, all my other Back to the Future fans, he played a psychotic funny man. So like I said, everybody's character I felt was pretty good. I would give this movie, I would give it a solid 8.59. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give it a 10 because I'm not going to say this is going to be like an all-time classic, if you will. But a good solid 8.59 for me is something that I feel comfortable giving. I recommend this movie. I recommend you take your significant other and see this movie. If you don't catch it in the movie, stream it, red box it, that type of stuff right there. This is definitely something that once the Blu-ray comes, I'll snatch it up and I will put it in my collection for sure. So that's it. Put your comments down below. Like it if you like it. Don't like it if you don't like it. Shoot, tell me what you think about it. Email address is bigrichmoviereview@gmail.com. Remember, this Thursday will be the first installment of African American News. I am so excited. I have so many subjects that we're going to break down. We're going to teach you some stuff. I can't do the guests that I wanted because they got to work. So they're going to come next Thursday show, and we'll chop that up and have a boatload of fun as far as that's concerned. But Thursday for sure. Hump Day, Wednesday, you will always have Big Rich live on the mic. We'll talk up. I think we're going to talk about Charlemagne the God's bogus ass book that he sillingly, and I know that's not a word, named it Black Privilege. There is no black privilege. Never has. And I'm not going to say never will, but there never has been. So I don't know but anyway, we might talk about that. I've gotten a lot of your guys' tweets and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens as far as I'm concerned. But remember, Wednesday, Hump Day, Big Rich live on the mic. Thursday, the inaugural, the initial, the pilot, if you will, African American News hosted by Big Rich. That would be me. Friday, what's the real deal? And then Saturday show of Big Rich Live on the mic. So in the meantime, in between time, stay blessed, stay safe, stay woke. Peace. And I'm out of here.